Come on. Now let's get out of here before somebody calls the cops. Got it. Ouch. That didn't hurt at all. My knees are just fine. That's just a whole bunch of screwing around. It's not entertaining. And I'm probably gonna say some things I can't say on YouTube. Looks like trying to straighten out a 7-day-old snake with rigor mortis. But wait, it gets better. Isn't that awesome? Okay, well, good afternoon and welcome back to another episode of Crossroads Garage. Hold on. There we go. On this episode, I've got a couple of things that we've got to do really quick. The main attraction here is, oh, that stinks. They said not to get the 2-piece, but this is definitely the 2-piece. Alright. Well, we have to replace this. And before we do, I'm going to take you out on the road and show you why. It's not good. So what's that for then? Is that just a random reducer looking thing? I have no idea. Okay. Let's go in here for now. And, well, there's a few things on the list. Namely the speedometer cable. Then we're going to grab that lovely heat shield over there, smack it up on the gas tank. Hopefully it sticks in this Antarctic weather we're having out here with no snow but all the temperature somehow, or lack of temperature, if my camera will stay on. Then what we're going to do, is bring my truck in really quick. Because I went to the gym at 6 this morning, something like that, and the heat quit working somehow. No idea. Quit working completely. So we're going to use our handy dandy test light, probe around and poke a few things, hopefully nothing important, and see where our electricity went. And then we're going to reroute the hot for the choke, because that is definitely not a keyed on and off, as I'm sure most of you realize. Whatever. We're going to fix that. Then if we have time, before this video ends, because I'm hoping to just buzz through this as quickly as possible, which is what I always say and seldom happens. Don't break it. I would really, really, really like to get this into my truck, because believe it or not, having direction on your heat in your vehicle, so it's not just kind of blowing wherever it feels like, and definitely not on you when you need it. It's not really fun when it's, about 12 degrees. So, yeah, a few things. Other thing we may try to do, if we get that far, since I'll have the dash off anyways, I'd really like to get this put in my truck, since my needle snapped off completely and does not work anymore. So we'll see how far we get. I've got today and tomorrow to film, so we should have plenty of time for everything. Let me get this thing back out of the garage, show you what the speedometer is doing, get it back in the garage, yank it out, put a new one in. We'll get at least that knocked out. Man, look how good that truck looks back there. And make sure you're looking at it. Yeah. I love my truck. I love this thing too, but the lift and the tires and the fog lights and the cab lights and all that stuff. All right. So, can you hear that obnoxious boop, 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 boop? It gets even worse when you go faster, believe it or not. It's kind of amazing. It is really obnoxious. But wait, it gets better. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, not awesome. it drives me nuts. I would prefer to have Baby Shark stuck in my head for a week than listen to this for another 2 seconds. I am just cannot handle it anymore. I think I got a brake caliper hanging up or something. I don't know. That should be in. Wait, just double check. Yep. Thought I'm gonna come back and drop. Alright. Well, now that we're back in the safety, excuse you, of the garage, I'm gonna jump under the dash and get a light up there, see if I can position you at all to be able to see anything, because there are a few videos out there on this, but none of them that I've seen, at least anyways, have anything to do with under the dash. And understandably, there's not even room for my hand. Okay, so bear with me, it might be kind of bright and blinding and cramped. Ouch, that's my eyeball. Okay. Can you see? Let's try to figure out where it is because I can't even see it. That's not it. Where'd you go? There. I have no idea if you can see. Not really. It's right here. And it plugs into... Oh my goodness. Stop it. Plugs into... Where's my hand? The back up here. There's a pin. Not a pin. There's a tab that you pull on. If you can find it. There. Can you see? There you go. Right here. There it is. Now, I already reached up in here, tried to clean this out, sprayed a bunch of WD-40 in there. Nothing doing. Sorry for those close quarters. That was... Where's my hat? Ah, car seat. Telling you, man, car seats are the best catch-alls for anybody. I don't care if you have kids or not. It's worth it. Okay, so see if I can locate it on this side. We'll yank it out of there. Yeah, it's this guy right here that's zip tied to absolutely everything. I don't even know. Oh, of course I put him back in my tool bag. No idea what these lights go to. Actually, I do have an idea. It's probably that turn signal switch. There. Okay. And they say just to gently and carefully wiggle it out of there. Looks like I'm gonna have to undo a bolt here and then go underneath, disconnect it from the transmission and yank it out. Alright. There it is. Well, that was somewhat of a wrestle. I don't know why that door won't stay shut. First thing to do is to look at our new one, which I am 99% sure is too short. Which is great because my truck has no heat and we'll have to go back to Napa to get a new one. Oh, that's fine. Good news is I'm pretty sure they told me they did have both in stock if need be. I think I was dumb. Wow, that is tight. So there's a this is gonna be fun to put in. There's 84 and 100. I'm pretty sure I need the 100. Oh man. Oh, maybe not. Come on. How much longer? If it is much, can't be that much. Only a couple inches. That's not bad. Let's give it a shot. We should be able to do something with that. Pretty sure if I can get it to quit hugging itself. I'm not gonna take you on another because that's just a whole bunch of screwing around. It's not entertaining. And I'm probably gonna say some things I can't say on YouTube. So I'll see you in a minute. I'll let you know how this goes. Sheesh. Well, that's probably one of the most fun, entertaining, I can't think of the other word I was looking for. Frustrating. That's it. Things that I've done for a while. It's like trying to straighten out a 7-day-old snake with rigor mortis. I'm not sure that we're gonna have enough room, but I'm gonna go inside and see. So you just hang out here for a minute, take a sip. I'll be right back. Well, looks like we are doing this the hard way. Oh, don't do that. I don't want the whole stereo to come out. I'm about to short something out for sure. Okay. That's, this always scares me. I don't enjoy doing this at all. Oh, there's my, wow, okay, all right. Okay. Wow. I was told the stereo worked great. It was probably just a ground or a fuse why it didn't work. That's what I was told. There is absolutely nothing plugged in back there. It was set in place. Somebody didn't know what they were doing. And it got left. Nothing ever got hooked up. That's slightly annoying because I was hoping to troubleshoot that here before I went back to work, because it would be kind of nice to have the ability to listen to some music. Okay, let's maybe try. There we go. Now it'll come out right, right. There. Just gotta bend it a little bit. If you don't believe me, absolutely nothing hooked up at all. Okay, that's just fine. I really don't care about the stereo all that much right now. Gotta figure out where the heck our speedometer cable is. That's what we're after now. Let me go ahead and disconnect the battery and grab another screwdriver, and we'll get this out of here. Alright, well, now that we've got this apart finally, I think I have found, I have found the cable, and I think that it is somewhat too short, but we are just going to do our best. And I am going to plug back in my four-wheel drive light. There. Alright. Now, hopefully I didn't mess up any of the gauges. And we are going to bring this through and try really hard to get it plugged in. There. I think we're back in, there it is. We're back in place. So before I do any more, I'm going to reach up under here and try to plug in the speedometer cable, and then we'll start reassembly. And before I do that, I'm going to clean up these really quick, because as you can see, they are incredibly filthy. And we might actually have some pretty decent looking gauges when we're done. Okay, we're all back together. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing with the camera. It actually looks pretty good. I wiped some stuff off. It's looking a little cleaner. And I apologize, Gage, I'm wrong. Gage is the kid I bought it from, and I can't reach the wires now. But there is wires in there, just nothing was plugged in. I was wrong. After some digging around and looking, I did end up finding the plug in two of those aux cables. So there are wires. It's just nothing's plugged in, which is fine. I don't care. Okay, I'm gonna pop the radio back in so it doesn't leave this gaping hole back or in here. Plug the battery back in. We'll take it for just a quick spin around the block. We'll see if all this work was worth it or if it's still gonna scream at me. Place your bets. Well, I bet you're all sitting there thinking to yourself, well, John, why are you taking the wheel off to do a speedometer cable? That's, even for you, that's a little ridiculous. Well, you'd be right. At least about, you know, the speedometer not being connected to the wheel. At least I'm pretty sure it's not. But, I did bring it over. What is connected to the wheel is the brake that appears to not be dragging anymore. In fact, the pads look good too, for that matter. Not exactly sure what's going on here, but tried to leave the gym this morning, and this thing promptly locked up on me 3 or 4 times and did not want to move. And it doesn't appear that it is doing that anymore. It was dragging bad enough. I had to get some gas, and the whole thing was just going and pulling and yanking and dragging and all this stuff. My oil leak has gotten significantly worse, so that's good. Huh. Interesting. My older brother actually went to the gym with me today, and it's kind of funny because both of our Suburbans broke down in the parking lot trying to leave. He's got a 2011, and his heater core line just snapped right off the heater core. Quick disconnect. And this thing didn't want to leave the parking lot. Alright. Well, a couple doggone camera. Okay, the reason I did not continue filming last night, even though I continued working, is because it actually got cold enough in the garage here that not only did my camera keep shutting itself off, it, hold on, there we go. It actually, gosh, there you go. Just a minute. There. It actually malfunctioned and was telling me that there was no battery in my camera and it couldn't record and all the rest. And I tried switching the batteries and it was just turned into a mess. So I just kept going with that speedometer cable. We got it in, got everything connected, and it does not work actually. No, not even a little bit. Doesn't squeak, doesn't do anything, nothing. It does absolutely nothing. So I'm gonna jump under the Suburban really quick, and I'm going to, basically all I'm trying to do is to take off and reconnect both ends from the gauge and from the transmission. And if that doesn't work, I've got my old cable here still. We'll dissect that thing, clean it up as good as we possibly can. We apply a little bit of grease to it, slide the cable back into the sleeve, put that one back in and see if that'll work. Oh, actually, I remember the plan that I had that's better than that. I'm gonna take it off the transmission, stick this in it, put a zip tie over the trigger, and see if I can make the gauge work. I'm gonna do that first. I'll bring you along once we get set up. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's back on the ground, and I just went underneath with the drill, and it did spin the speedometer. So, I guess the only thing now to do is to fire it up and take it for a ride and see if it still doesn't work. So let's do that. Unfortunately, that means losing every last bit of heat left in the garage, but you know what? It's late, dinner's ready, and I'm ready. Let's go for a ride. Oh, sorry about that. Speedometer still does not work. And I forgot my light. Oh, that was a stupid idea. Phew. I just set the magnetic mount on my pile of sockets. Let go. Okay, what I was trying to say is, I was wrong. It's not the right front, it's the right rear. It's that drum. Well, nothing is going according to plan. And my propane ran out about half an hour ago. So, now it's very chilly. But you guys can help me sort through some hardware. So what we've done so far is I've taken these and cleaned these up considerably. They were extremely filthy. Moved my emergency brake lever to the new the new shoes, and put a new master cylinder in it here and bled it. So springs, right? Okay, we're gonna try to do this as, what am I trying to say, efficiently as possible. So we have 2 of these large green springs, so I'm gonna leave one in here and put one in there. Now we have 2 of these gray springs, so I'm gonna leave one there and take one. And the green springs, we have 2 of those. I'm gonna take one of those each. One black spring. There. I'll put this over here. And we've got our pile of new parts. The other thing that we did here is I took apart and cleaned this up pretty good, re-greased everything, and put a bunch more lubrication in the threads. So this should turn nice and easy now, because last night I may have gotten a little excited and broke out the crowbar because this was completely jammed on here. Okay, just to give you an idea what we're dealing with here, guys. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I've been working on this for a while. I'm trying to get the pads, or the shoes rather, to stay in here and get the drum off because it's okay, that one's pretty well sitting where it needs to be. It's this one that's breaking into pieces and not wanting to pay attention. Alright, I have no idea where this died. I don't know how much you saw, but basically the grooves are so bad in this drum that the shoes are sticking to them. And I already undid, speaking of which, I need to probably close that back up a bit. I undid the brake line just to see if it would help relax the shoes enough to get this out, but it has not. And ouch, it's still just being stubborn. So I'm trying to coax the shoes to the inside of this drum here and pull the drum off. Don't lose it on camera, John. Don't lose it on camera. Alright. This rear side is basically free. It's just this front side that won't behave itself. It's coming. It's pretty close. Got it. Ouch. That didn't hurt at all. My knees are just fine. Didn't do leg day today or anything like that. Squatting feels amazing. Woo! Do you see them sparks? Okay. Right on. Alright, so then we'll hook this little devil right to here, I believe. Or is it this little devil? Which one of these is it? So this is the long one that goes right like, and this is a short one that must just go like that. More sparks. Alright. Well, the bottom's together. Well, not the bottom, the top, I mean. Okay, so now all we've got left, wherever I threw it, where's the adjuster wheel? I swear I just had it. I'm an idiot. It's out there, right where I wouldn't lose it. Holy cow! Gotta use both hands and a foot. Alright. Well, that was one side built. I gotta go in for the night, unfortunately. Take a shower real quick, get my kids some dinner, and we'll start back on this again tomorrow. I'm out of breath. I'll see you then. Well, you might be saying to yourself, John, where'd you get those awesome sunglasses at? Well, it's the same place I get everything. Amazon special. No, I'm just kidding. They're the cheapest things, and I needed something that was decent and, you know, kid resistant, or at least something I can keep in my vehicle that kids can't get to. A designated driving pair, because the last pair of designated driving pair that I got promptly fell out in the snow and got stepped on. Not by me. So, really quick, I'm pausing on the Suburban. Gonna take a quick peek at why in the world my heater's not working. Jeez, camera, calm down. And I just want to double check a couple of fuses and see if maybe that's the problem. I have no idea. Remind me to get a haircut, will you? This is getting out of hand. It is inappropriately cold outside as well, I'll have you know. I am not super stoked about it because come back here, microphone. You know what? Keep the magnet. I'm over it. Idle stop, radio, wipers, distributor signal, cluster, traffic, battery, AC and heater. There it is. Of course, it's the farthest one up, toughest one to reach. That's just fine. Let's use the fingernail file because I think that's gonna have the best reach and the narrowest tip on it. And try to flick this thing out of here if we can. Why is it so stiff? These suckers are supposed to just kind of pop out of here. I knew that was gonna happen. And of course it's not bad, so... Well, now it is. That's what I'm trying to say. That's just fine. I know there's better ways of doing this. I just really thought that this was gonna work. Yeah, see? Look at that. It's completely blown. It's definitely bad. A handy dandy extra fuse. Try to jam this back up in here. We'll reconnect the battery and see if this fixed anything, because I'm getting really tired of going outside when it's 5 degrees and driving around with no heat. It's really well, it's more comfortable than I'd like it to be. I like to suffer more in the winter with bad joints. I don't like things to be easy. I didn't do anything, did it? Yeah, that means it's not the fuse. Probably lost the ground, or I need the key. Alright, we got the key. Cross your eyes that this works. Nothing. I don't understand. It's supposed to be the fuse. All kidding aside, it did look kind of crusty and not great. There. Usually the problem is in one of these plugs. Let me just do that real quick so we don't burn the truck down. And I gotta get the fingernail file back out and try to make quick work of this because I'm pretty sure it's colder out here than it is in the garage somehow. I knew I cut my thumb open with that. That's fine. Nothing. Oh, that is a shame. Curious about something just while we're here before I lose much more daylight. That has power. That does not. Pretty sure that one is supposed to. Man, I'm bleeding all over this thing. So it has power. So why doesn't it work? Let's make sure our fuse block, or that fuse is getting power. And then I'm just gonna have to leave it alone because I don't have time to dig into it farther right now. I was hoping this was gonna be a nice, quick and easy fix. Is that the problem right here? Yep, my fuse. That has power. And the box has power. That is very strange. I wonder what's going on with that. It's not right. Probably missing something that I should be thinking of, but I don't know. I can't think of it. Alright, let's get back on the Suburban. I'm nearly done with that anyways, and all I gotta do now is put the drums on, set the adjustment on the shoes there, and then while I've got the tires off, I'm gonna look and see if I can do a little bit of exhaust adjustment without having to tear apart and redo the entire thing. I got one exhaust leak that's leaking right up next to the trash can, pretty much. Fuel tank, so I gotta redo that. In fact, sorry, I'm kind of scattered today. Trying to do too many things at once. You can see there, it's leaking all over the place. The exhaust clamp is black. I was just going to add an extension onto here, but I don't know if I can, because if I bring it down any lower, well, maybe I might miss the shock. Actually, I was thinking I was going to run into the shock, but if I can get it just right and drop it like 2 inches, then I can swing it back up and put it over there, kind of under this stirrup here. Alright, well, I don't know if we're doing that today or not, but we'll at least get the exhaust leak taken care of, and I guess just go from there. It is so cold out here. I've been trying to film, and my camera just keeps shutting off no matter what I do, so I'll just have to update you as I go, and let the camera sit inside and be nice and warm without me. Alright. Well, this is gonna have to be a 2-part video. Give me just a second, I've got the wrong keys. Alright, as I was saying, this is going to be a two-part video because it is currently Friday night and I still have, or I need at least one day to edit. You know what? Screw it. It's this handle that keeps messing up my rear window, making it not work. Alright, got a bunch of paracord, another tow rope. I also got my actual tow strap with the D-rings, but what I'm after is this guy right here. Come on. Don't mess things up any worse than they already are. Let me just struggle for a few minutes. I figure out where to set this. Oh, thank God it's got the bolts. Phew, I gotta put my gloves back on. So the exhaust, I was actually able to get it from just a couple fingers, like so. I can fit my whole doggone hand in here now, which is good. And then we can just heat wrap this side and this side, or even just around the corner a little bit, and we should be good. Let me get my gloves on, because as much as I want to be tough and everything, it's plain too cold to be trying to be tough, and it hurts when you drop stuff on your frozen fingers. In fact, this hitch might actually solve the problem, or a problem for me, because if this sits where it looks like it's gonna sit, then I can tie this exhaust up to the hitch. It looks like it wants to go. So which bolt does it tie into though? This one? Well, the shape of this thing tells me it should go in this slotted hole here. Ouch. I need somebody on the other end to pump this up for me. I'm gonna drop it right on my neck. Come on, pipe. There we go. Move out of the way. Well, that sucks. I do not have a hole for it on this end. Yep, that does run directly into that. That is annoying. Alright, I'll show you what I'm talking about when I'm mumbling to myself under here. Okay, so this hole, go on, that, gosh, camera. Okay, that hole lines up, right? There is no hole on that side. This hole lines up, and no hole on that side. And this is all running directly into that. So what it looks like I could maybe do though, you know what? Let me get this hitch back down and I'll show you what I'm thinking.
Alright, so what I was starting to say was, well, what I could do is it looks like this here, can you see? Just unbolts off the frame on both sides, and since both of these trailer wire here, things here, are already cut, I can maybe just take that whole thing out, bolt up the one end, hole punch it, and then drill it out. Let me take off this plate and see what we're looking like. I'm gonna regret that. I need this thing to run. This is kind of a project for another day. Oh, screw it. I don't actually have any welding to do besides just these exhaust hangers. And I'll just make sure these are pushed out as far as I can, and we'll do that another day because I need this thing back on the ground and ready to go tomorrow morning. That's gonna be a chore. Or a trick, I should say. Let me get my welder set up and get this exhaust into position. And I think we will just go ahead and buzz it up as far out as we can. And then, like I said, we'll put the hitch on maybe next weekend. Maybe. Because before I do extra stuff, I really have to have the heat in my truck working. Well, good afternoon. I decided just to go ahead and do this so I can drop it back on the ground and we can go do something fun, hopefully. Let me show you what I did. Okay, so we got the exhaust done, and I think you already saw all of that. But I've got this heat tape on here now, or heat deflector tape, whatever you call it. There. I've got it taped up all the way down from clear the lip of the can all the way back and all the way back to here, because I figure there's plenty enough distance between here and here. I mean, I'm not worried about that. Same thing over here. Got the heat tape. Come on now. Got the heat tape all the way across and down, like so. And all the way up to the edge here. Just try to be extra safe. Hopefully that's good enough, and between that and the hand width of room, I should be pretty good even as the weather starts warming up. I'm just trying to push off having to do a serious fix on this before I'm ready to. I'm trying to get a couple of months out of this and let it be 40, 50 degrees before I really got to start worrying about, that's it. Honestly, I think that this is going to be fine, but potentially moving it even farther out, this is going to be fine. Got that exhaust leak fixed with that clamp. So we're going to drop this thing back on the ground, check the oil, and I have an idea of where we may be able to go attempt to burn out today, and you won't have to wait till next week. Let me get this thing on the ground and we'll get going. Okay, so I just checked the oil. 64%, it just shut off. What I was trying to say is I checked the oil, torqued the rear wheels, it's on the ground. We're doing good. I really ought to invest in something other than a GoPro to film with, but I don't have the fundage for that right now. Come on. It's one thing I have not done that I should do is get this choke figured out for this thing. spilling coffee down my beard.
All right, we're gonna give this a shot. I'm fairly confident it's gonna, we'll see. Let's give it a shot. Might have to try this once or twice. I've never done a real brake stand before, so we'll see how this goes. Our oil pressure is up nice. We're still riding at about 30, 35. I'm thinking, let's see, if I put it in first, right, and then I let it go forward just a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna back up first. I'm gonna try to get a little bit of speed, and then I'll nail the brakes and hold them as hard as I can while my foot's on the floor and see what happens. Are you ready? That was pretty fun. A little one tire fire there. Why don't we try it again? Sure, why not? I'll unroll the window so you guys can hear. That's probably plenty close to that. Okay, I gotta reposition myself so I can hit the brakes harder. Are you ready? That is way too much fun. Now let's get out of here before somebody calls the cops. I don't know if they would or not, being that I live where I do, but you never know. Hey, this thing did a brake stand, okay? A little bit of wheel hop and whatnot. Not a high-speed burnout, but it did one. We got a little rubber off it. Oh yeah. Ah, you can smell it. All right, just a minute. I gotta get packed up and get out of here. Wasn't me, I swear, officer. That was pretty awesome. Gage, I hope you appreciate this. Your Suburban will in fact do a burnout. Maybe not a big one, but it'll do one. When I get some true summer tires on here, something a little less soft and sticky. Come on. We are only about 4 to 6 blocks away from the police station, so we better get out of here. Temperature's good, we got plenty of oil pressure, everything's fine. Everything's fine. We just left a little something for them to remember us by while we're sitting in jail. No, I think that this is the place to do it, but I did kind of forget about the fact that with as small as this town is, unless you go way far out of your way, you're always going to be 6 blocks to half a mile from the police station. And so, you know what? We'll just do that. I did, however, remember somewhere else where we can do another better burnout with basically no chance of cops whatsoever. And we will try that probably in my truck, because it'll probably do a burnout better than this will, just because of the lack of traction with those mud tires. And we'll do that in my truck once we get the heat working and everything else figured out, and tachometer back in it, and the inlay and the heater, all the important like priority stuff done first. Then we'll take that out and try to do a burnout. maybe in a couple of weeks. All right, guys, that's gonna end it out for me. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. That was a lot of fun. I've never done a real brake stand before, and now I know this thing needs about 50 to 100 more horsepower, and it needs traction bars. That's what I was going for. Definitely needs traction bars before we do a lot more burnouts. All right, we will see you guys all next week. I hope you have a good work week and great weekend, all those things. And yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling now, and hopefully I can get my video out sooner next week, and hopefully it'll be Saturday instead of Sunday. See you then. Got that a little close there, dude.